Hello everybody, Brian here from quantlabs.net. Today in this video I'm going to show you the latest with the Telegram so-called bot with the streaming of data. I'm going to talk about all that into Telegram channels and eventually into my private chat server. So what you're looking at is MotiveWave, and right now I have 2 sessions of MotiveWave running. This is my preferred trading platform. So you can see here on the left we have Coinbase, and on the right we have Kraken. And I've talked about this in various videos, including my last webinar. So the idea here is to figure out where you want to trade based upon market conditions. So I wanted to show you, first tell you, I have run into severe exception problems with Telegram when I send messages to it from my Python scripts, and it dropped. Because of that, a lot of my messages do not get posted on my channels that I want to have for my customers. So as a result, what I've done is I've now switched everything over to have all those messages pushed into my private chat server. Again, that is at quantlabs.info. So when you log in, as I can show you here, let's see if I can give you an instance. So right here is my chat server, and that's on the web edition. Okay, and again, that's at quantlabs.info. So what I've done is that there has been, when you log in publicly, you will get access to, I believe, 5 rooms. So there's free sample, signals, and there's news, the general chat. So let me just show you that. And again, I'm not pushing this through my regular Telegram because of these exceptions that I've been getting. And okay, so going back to what this is a user I've made that has access to one of the hidden rooms that I've created. So in here, when you cycle through, this right here is this is the general chat. You can see GEN in the background there. This is my technical room. This is my Quant Labs trading room. You can easily move into any of these rooms to get the latest info. Also, this is a news for myself. So this is instead of me pushing out news on the Telegram, as well as I said, I've got free trading signals here. These are just samples. So the last update's been at the end of September, which I'm going to update and it will work for Cardano, Ethereum, and Doge. So if you want some free samples, this is where you go. Plus, this is the one that is for my customers now. So if you're a paying member of my Quant League, this is what I used to have on Telegram, and now I'm pushing it over to this channel here, or this newsroom for my Quant Analytics. And I have to, if you sign up to my quantlabs.info, you have to be a paying customer to get this. I'll show you where to go if you want it. And I keep saying this is the one I'm pushing right now for the promotion. So this is what it would look like, okay? Because as I said, if I try to push this on to Telegram, I won't be able to push a lot of these messages in here. So let me show you what all this info means. So this right here, this risk on, for now I have full control on this. I have no exceptions, I have no limitations. And every 15 minutes, this risk on gets posted or pushed out. And this is the risk of the market, of the overall crypto market. As you can see here, it's negative, and these are the hourly moves of the top 12 coins. Okay, here what we're doing is we have 2 areas now for Kraken and Coinbase, the exchanges. I could put in Binance, but I'm not going to do that because, let's just put it this way, Binance is not to be trusted with, whereas Kraken and Coinbase can be because they're US based, but I'm not going to promise that they're the best either. But at least you have some form of regulation that for these two exchanges to be, since they're in the States. And again, that's for both Kraken and Coinbase. So here you get charting setups. Let me show you the Coinbase first. So you have the Coinbase here. Here's the charting pattern. So we'll take a look at these in a minute. These get pushed out every half an hour. Okay, and we have here now the coins, and this is like an entry score, and then there's also the order book as well. So anything that is negative is that order book means that there's more bids than ask, meaning that there's a driving price down. These are in order based upon this score right here. And again, this is based upon the entry potential. So you can see here a lot of these coins are at negative, let's say below -10. Okay, so when you see -48, -46, that means that those coins generated in the last 24 hours either a sell signal on a moving average cross, or it's shown out of 12 candlestick patterns that I'm using to show that that particular coin is generating a bearish signal. Okay, so that's what the -40 whatever. Plus you get the occasional coin like here, Mana, which has 6.0. What that means is that it's kind of like has a little bit of positivity, and I'll show you that. And then anything usually above 10, 12, and up towards 16 and 18, which is the highest, those are pretty well breaking out. So let's say, for example, Mana is at 6. That means it's the price might start to be moving up. And then from there, that means then once it pushes through, you can see here like IOTX is pushing at 11.5, which means that price is starting to move up. And then you have these three here, MLN, SHIB, and 1 inch approaching at pretty well breakout. Now, the same score is set up here on Kraken. And Kraken here has its entry. Oh, I forgot to talk about this. These are the charting setups that you could consider right now. I try to keep as little as possible being posted here. As long as you understand these ranking and scores. Because once you know what's moving and what's not, plus it's also helpful to know the negative side as well, to show where there's potential sell signals or bearish signals being generated. And obviously when you get as many as this, it's going to tell you either the price of a lot of these coins are going to go down in the next 24 hours, which means I would cash out at everything and just wait it out until you start to see strength again, where you start to see more breakouts. Or, and just wait it out, okay? And that's for both Coinbase and Kraken. There's a lot of difference in the behavior of these coins, so a good example here is exactly these. So you can see here, these are the performers here of MLN, SHIB, 1 inch, and IOTX as moving. And again, this was generated 21-24. So that was generated about 40 minutes ago or so. 34. So maybe 15 minutes. These are generated every half hour, but I might be able to bump it up to do it every 15 minutes because I'm just testing out what Coinbase allows to have as many requests per hour, because you don't want to push it, otherwise you get no data at all. So right now I've set it up at every half hour and run it through the night. If that works, I'm going to switch it over to every 15 minutes to be more frequent and more up to date. But right now it's every half hour. Okay, so when you start to see these really negative movers, that means the whole space is moving down. So, as I said, these are the current top performers: MLN, SHIB, 1 inch, IOTX, and so on. So what I'm going to do right now, hang on here. I've got all these processes running, and I can switch them over to my remote server. So a lot of these scripts I built myself. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to run some of my Coinbase ones to refresh the to refresh the data, so we get a new set of data in this. But normally it's automated and it's scheduled to run, so I'm just going to run these as is, and then hopefully we get some new fresh data to look at, because this is kind of half an hour old. Anyways, let me go over to, I forgot to also mention this right here. So this is what we call a PWA. If you want to know more about this, I put up a lot of instructions on how to do this. This is at quantlabs.net/blog. And at the top there, you'll see a menu option that says free signals. In there, I show you how the PWA works and how to download it, how to get it working. And this will only work for either Windows or Linux. And it will work on your Android as well. So there's all the instructions. This will not work on, this is using a technology called PWA right here. And it's all described, but Apple will not support PWA technology for the Mac or the iPhone. So they're now becoming the evil one, as far as I'm concerned. Again, you can find that under quantlabs.net/blog, and just go to this free signals, and this will explain everything. So if you want your own downloadable version, as you can see here, this is like a separate Chrome browser app. As you can see here, if you go under Chrome apps, this is our chat. This is the one for my chat server. Anyway, so we have here, so I can run this as a desktop app. Okay, so that's kind of convenient, and as I said, you can run this on your Android phone. I don't really care about Apple anymore. It's down to what 25% global market share, anyways. So no big deal. Don't complain to me. Go and complain to Apple about it. All right. So right now we're pushing some new data through, but I'm going to load up my Coinbase. That's Kraken. So one thing I got to mention here, just so you know about, here's Coinbase Pro. One thing I need to mention to you is that with MotoWave, and you can run as many sessions as you want of MotoWave individually on one computer, that is supported. The problem is that they take up memory, depending upon how much memory you use. You can see here I'm using 2.5, 3 gig, and this was not so bad on Kraken. It's just because of the amount of data that I'm using and consuming. Okay, so let me just get this data pushed through. This should take about 10 minutes, so we should get a new pile of new data in the PWA app. Alright, so let me close all these. This is from testing earlier. Okay, I got to deactivate my strategy. This is a custom-made strategy I've built. This is the reverse MACD. So, just got to close out all this stuff. So these are running. And the nice thing about this design, as opposed to having it the way I used to have it, is you have more control of what frequency you want to run this at. So if we know we have coins that are moving right now, regardless of the market overall getting clobbered, again, this is Coinbase, you can see that down move. If I go over to the 1 minute, you can see here that Bitcoin is definitely moving down on the 1 minute basis. So let me just kill off these other charts here. And again, with MotoWave, it's very flexible on how you want to run it, how you want to display it. I've got 2 monitors here. You could have it on, I've heard people are running on 4 monitors, 8 monitors. If you want to go crazy, you can do that. And MotoWave is designed for that. So there's a lot of flexibility here. All right, so let's go back to, we're just waiting for this new refresh of data. You can see here as well is that the risk is getting less weak. Again, this is 15 minutes, so this is negative 0.31 as opposed to negative 0.76. So everything's quantifiable, which is good. So let's look at the Coinbase here, these 3. The first one to look at is obviously SHE, because that's been on a tear lately. So I can set up whatever time frame I want. Usually I'm testing for the signals if it's going to be 15 minutes or every hour. So let's look at the 15 minute. I can set it up on whatever I want. Okay, so I've got the latest data here. And as far as I can tell, looks like it continues to be the same coins as listed. So the coins I've got listed here are 1-inch, IOTX, and Sheep. So those are the ones we'll take a look at. So you can see here the price has not been affected on Sheep. So as a result, you can definitely apply this strategy, activate it, and run it. But here's the problem. Here's the problem. If you're like me in Canada, this is going to connect into Coinbase Pro. Okay, so you would get the signals. Hopefully it'll get pushed through. Or actually, yeah, let me change this. So to see some of those orders, I'm going to switch this to 1 minute and then apply the strategy and let her run. So hopefully we'll see some of these order signals. Okay, so now we have here one Shiba. You can see it's trying to push up. Activate that strategy. And the other ones we had was IOTX. I'm going to set that to 1 minute on the bar size, the time frequency. There's a big drop there, and we'll just leave it. We'll let it run and see what happens. So we'll activate that. Plus you get full control on these parameters. So it doesn't, I always like to just stick with default. You can configure them however you want. MACD, out of all the studies I've looked at with MotorWave out of box, the MACD is the best one. I've put up a video on that. And let's see here. So we've got two working, one on Sheep, one on IOTX. Next we have is 1-inch. So hopefully on USD. And again, you could choose any of the quoting currencies as well if you want. I prefer to use fiat currency. So you could use 1-inch USD, you could use 1-inch Euro if you want, or even BTC. It's up to you. And apply that straight. So that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of flexibility here. So let's see what happens here. So you can see here we're pushing the 2.5 gig here. And that's why it's so slow, because again, you need more RAM to do this. So we want to apply the right strategy. So the more you open these charts, the more strategies you run, the more memory it takes. Okay, something got updated. Okay, so our risk. Oh, so there's our first order here. A Coinbase IOTX midpoint. That's the midpoint of the bid and ask price. The total when you factor in the quantity. So when you set up, so what we're looking at. So let's say if I deactivate, or let me just do this one with sample of Bitcoin. So here, if you're going to choose, there is, I was trying to look for a place where there's the quantity is displayed. I will have to figure that one out, but the quantity is going to be different for each coin. Anyways, just showing you how this is evolving. So when you go back to that signal here, that quantity, that will, I'm going to put a parameter in so that you can change it. That's the total price. And again, this is bar size, which is 1 minute. And sometimes you'll get a bar size of whatever you set here in the chart. Okay, where it's more at my end. But I'm testing between 1 hour and 15 minutes. So we'll see what happens. Anyways, I'm going to let these three run. Okay, so what we have here is we got Sheep, IOTX, and 1-inch running with that automated strategy. Now here's the problem. Here's the problem. Although you see these signals here, especially the orders, buy long, here's the problem is that, so here is the update of, this is Coinbase. These are the ones of that's suggested for the charting setups plus along here. The only one that looks like it's going to be suggested is only sheep. So that's the only one that I would that this thing's recommending. So that's basically meaning close this one down. And only keep the sheep running. So let me just show you that. So all of this is manual. Unfortunately, we don't have the link to be able to have MotiveWave work with us. I've been pushing MotiveWave to see if they can get that done, but I don't think that'll be happening anytime soon. So you can see here we got more updates in this. So what we got here is we've had, this is the Coinbase. Here's the new risk. So the market's weakened again. So this time we have now Kraken. Okay, so these are the only coins that are working. Is there any suggested chart setups? No. But again, this is the chart. This is MotiveWave connected in a Coinbase. Okay, so if I go back over to Kraken, and let me just close up these charts here. Okay, I'm going to close up these charts and take a look at what's running and what's working on Kraken. So let's look at some of these other coins that are moving. Just to give you an example of these top three, even though they're not to be part of the chart setups, but I just want to show you what's going on. So this is Kraken, what we're looked at right here. Okay, so first one we want is AXS, and again, these coins that I'm going to show you, AXS, MLN, and those are the only ones working, but in here you'll get some coins that are not available on Coinbase. So these can perform quite well. Depending upon where you live, you may be able to trade this particular coin. This is a good one. I think it's getting a lot of buzz. So again, remember, everything's negative. Now, the key difference, which I showed on my webinar on Monday, was the gaps. Okay, so there's gaps going to show up in Kraken because of the lack of volume. This is what I refer to. So the only way to get around that is to go with a 1 hour time frame, which doesn't have as many gaps. Maybe the 30-minute might have, see, you're starting to see the gaps now at 30 minutes, so we will have to stick with the 1 hour. But you can see the gaps here, and this can really throw off your trading. That's why I no longer work with Python for order execution. So let's see here. We want to see, okay, so AXX, it's not a very exciting coin right now, and MLN. Not sure if we have MLN on Coinbase. I'll try that out in a minute. Let's see here. So again, here's MLN on Kraken. Let's see if this is moving at all. A little bit. That's an hourly. Let's see the 30-minute. Yeah, and you can start to see those gaps show. So even if I do 15-minute, well, I'll probably do 15 minutes. So I could technically apply the same strategy to this. Now with Kraken, I could do the orders. Okay, so once I activate that, this will work. These orders will work on Kraken for me in Ontario. Okay, but Coinbase Pro will not. So, first I wanted to show 1 inch. Okay. The other one that it shows that's moving on Kraken is XTZ. So this is Kraken. No, we want home. Okay, so let me pull up The other one I'm seeing is XTZ. So XTZ, this one's not too bad. The gap shouldn't be too bad. This can perform. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. Yeah, so you can see it's in solid decline, even though it's suggesting, but let's go down to 1 minute just to see. It's trying to move up, but there's definitely clear downward pressure there. Anyways, I want to see if MLM exists on Coinbase. So we're back to Coinbase here. Just want to see if MLN is available on Coinbase. And it is. So let me show you again with those gaps. So MLN, okay, let's go to Kraken. So we're on Kraken right here. So you can see here MLN on the 15-minute on Kraken versus MLN on Coinbase. Yeah, you still see the gap. So it's fair. Oh, actually, that's a 1 minute. So you can see here the 15-minute has way fewer gaps than 15-minute on Kraken. So that's the clear difference between Kraken and Coinbase. There's fewer gaps. And what can happen is that will throw off your trading bots and whatever you use, those gaps at a lower signal rate. Okay, so just so you know that. So let's go back over to the channel here, or the room. You see here we got another order, mock order for Coinbase, another sheep. This one's saying buy long. Okay, so as I said, this is what this means, is that with sheep, let's go back to sheep. So right here, you can see it's saying do a buy, and that's working. The problem here is this signal is good. Okay, it's using Coinbase data, and it's using the execution right here on Coinbase because of this strategy's been active. So you can see here this buy is very active and it's working. And just here you would have gone from 27.25 to 28.25, where you get these sudden rushes of moves very quickly. So that was caught. That's why I like this strategy, this reversing MACD, because it works. Now again, you can have control on what time frame. So if I was to create a new chart but only use, let's say, a 15-minute chart, right? If I'm using a 15-minute chart, question is, if I use the reverse MACD study, would that move have been caught? And yes, it would have. So 1 minute or 15 minutes, it wouldn't have made a difference, which is good. So let me close more of these up. So all in all, that's all good that it works, as I just showed you there. And the problem here now is, depending upon where you live, I have access to Coinbase Pro and obviously Coinbase. Plain Coinbase, the exchanges are quite literally two different exchanges. Coinbase Pro is for API access, so that's where MotiveWave will connect into. Because I'm in Ontario, Canada, I have maybe 10 coins that I have access to that I can trade through MotiveWave, which is useless. So for me to make a trade on Coinbase, what I have to do is I have to switch it over to my app for Coinbase, plain Coinbase, and put that manual order in. So that's the only really drawback of this whole process with Coinbase. Because with Coinbase, I'm pretty strongly opinionated on this, and I think I'm correct, is that if I put this buy into in a sheep, it'll just throw back this rejection because it's not available on my MotiveWave because of where I live, which is obviously Ontario. Now, if I live in the States, I might be able to do this fully automated in the U.S. I'm just waiting for people to confirm if that's the case or not, because if they're on Coinbase Pro, they have a much wider selection of coins to be able to access through MotoWave and automatically trade via these signals, because you're applying the chart. So we're just waiting for more activity from this channel here. But so far, in a weak market, we're doing pretty good. Like if we did that full on trade, we would be making money right now, and let this trade and let the strategy for here to generate a sell signal through this automated strategy. Once we get that through here on the server, the chat server, we can then go into our Coinbase plain app, a plain Coinbase app, and then put the sell in manually. I wish I could automate it better, but this is where we're at, and this is moving quite well. And here, the price, like right now, if I was trading like this, just watching it, we'd be making mad money. And the funny thing is, I just got a comment from some bonehead on, now the question is, will this get caught? Will this strategy catch it? We'll see what happens here. So, as I was saying, there was a stupid comment that Shiba is useless because it's just one of those coins that's all, let me just pull it up here, the actual comment. It's kind of funny. Give me a minute here as I pull it up. So, right now, we're just waiting for that. So, the comment was, Shiba's just a pump and dump. It's all rumors. There are better coins to add if they were going to add any if all to the Robinhood exchange. What a bozo. To trade off exchange, to trade crypto off of Robinhood, you got to be a complete nut job, because you don't get the coin selection that you get with, this is the real McCoy with Coinbase and Kraken. Anyways, this is the best I think we can get, and if I was to do this in Python, in either Coinbase, well, I can't do it in Coinbase at all, as I said about Coinbase Pro and the limitation I have being in Ontario, whereas with Python and Kraken, as I've shown you, as an example, the this one right here, this MLN, with all the gaps, you're going to lose money because the bot gets screwed up. It literally gets screwed up, and it will prematurely sometimes close off those positions, and you lose money and you can't figure out why. This is possibly one of the reasons. So I just wanted to show you that. This is where we're at right now with the whole setup. So the main thing here is I'm not going to use Telegram because of the restrictions with the exceptions I'm getting from my Python scripts. And this seems to work well with this for the positions as well. So the question is, how do you get into this room on my chat server? Well, as I said here, there's a couple of options. Well, there is one option. Is if you go to my Quant Labs, quantlabs.net shop, in there, you're going to find two products. Okay. So let me go back to the product page. So again, it's quantlabs.net/shop. Okay. There's the two light bulbs you look for. This one, Quant Analytics Annual. Okay. So here in the annual, this price is listed at $9.97 for a year. That's current. I will be dropping this down to 3 months. So essentially what will happen is this will be going up after I reduce the term from annual or yearly down to 3 months. That's essentially a 300% price increase because I've reduced the term on what you get for $9.97. So that will push it up to about $300. per month. Now here, as you saw, there's another option here. This one's at $97 per month. This one you can expect to see to go up to $300 a month once I drop this term. So this will go up to 300 or 400. This will also go up to only monthly. I might discount it like quite substantially. You save maybe 20-30% if you buy the annual. So this is the direction we're going, and you go, oh gee, Brian, that's pretty expensive. Yeah, it is, because here to get this type of chat, which seems to work, and I'm testing it more. I will be testing it more and more, and if it proves itself, plus we got our track record as well, that's why it's going up in price. I will be putting on more sales, obviously, but it won't be as frequent. So that's the option. So I just want to let you know what's going on. If you're a current customer, don't worry about it. You're all good. And if you're grandfathered in, you're grandfathered in. So congrats there for making that choice. But for those coming in, so here's our risk. I just got updated at 0.93, negative 0.31. And the prior was right here. So it's gone down a little bit. So this is why this is happening, and I'm hoping to see the day when we're able to fully automate this with MotiveWave, being able to read external files, let's say, outside of MotiveWave to trigger charts to get opened up and automatically and activate these strategies. Once we can see that feature, that will eliminate all of this stuff manually. Because I'll tell you, I prefer to trade in MotiveWave, because listen, you got so many studies, and there's new product coming as well called a strategy builder, which is all dynamic. Looks pretty impressive. So there's some exciting days coming ahead. So you can see here, this right here, once those touch, I think we'll get our sell signal right here. So we could watch that and that will be our time to get out of. I want to watch this during this video, but I prefer to do everything in MotiveWave now because it's all professional. This whole platform is done by professional coders, whereas trying to build your own, like I've been trying in Python with the automated orders and execution, I find it's very challenging because, as I said, visually you wouldn't have known that there are gaps in the data, and I would have known that without looking at Kraken with Python. I would have known that. So that was one of the reasons why I thought, maybe that's why I'm seeing not as many profitable positions, because theoretically they should be profitable, but they're not. So let's just see if we generate a sell signal here. So here we've made a nice profit. Let's see here, that profit would have been at, don't know the price. So, that would have been a classic reversal, very close, in around here, 27.25. Yep, there's our sell signal, and and then it would direct you to get out of that sell Coinbase sheep. So that would have been it. If you were watching that, and if you were able to automate it, you would have just had your live order and a nice profitable trade when the market's seriously down, almost at -1. If I was to show you, let's take a look live here with Bitcoin and Ethereum, just to show you how bad the market's looking. So you would have made money there in this kind of decline for both Bitcoin. We want Bitcoin. TCUSD. There we go. So you can see here, yeah, Bitcoin has moved up. But I think SHIB would have been a better move. And let's take a look at Ethereum as well. But that's a minute as well. We know that these move together. Let's check out 1 hour. Yeah, you can see it's drifted down. It's starting to stabilize and reverse. That's Bitcoin, and then we also have Ethereum on an hourly. So there's definitely downward pressure here on the 15-minute and the 1 minute's really good. Actually, I think it's starting to stabilize and reverse. So one way to know that is here, looking at your order book. Okay, so there's a lot of good stuff here. That was quite interesting to show you an actual trade on a minute basis. So we would have gone roughly here at 2,700 up to 2,850, whatever the math would have been. But that is pretty good. Anyways, we'll leave it at that. Again, if you want to know more, you're not into paying this for whatever reason, that's fine. What I would recommend you do is go over to our server here at quantlabs.net, quantlabs.info. And lastly, if you want to get on our email list, quantlabs.net, just look for the contact form, or better yet, you can go directly to quantlabs.net/contact. Okay. I will get there. /contact. Okay. And then that will take you over to our affiliate info, name, email, phone number if you want. Sign up. Everything's kept private. So that will keep you updated. If you're on my email list, I'm going to be sending an email out to folks. Google, Microsoft, all the brands that have mainstream email, they're very strict on what ends up in your inbox. So what I've done now, it seems to be working, is to shrink my list every day. So I was used to be sending out well over 1,000 people, and very few people would open it but not click any of the emails or what's in the email. So that really affects my score on overall email, quote unquote, deliverability. So as a result, I've been testing that my emails will only go out to those that click. And I'm shrinking down my list by about 80%. If you don't click stuff, forget the opening. You have to click stuff to stay on the list. Otherwise, it'll stop sending out emails. Because if you're not clicking, you affect my deliverability. So as a result, what I've got is shrinking down the list, and people click stuff, and it improves my stats overall, boosts my deliverability, and that helps me get into people's inboxes, whereas opposed to people either on my list and not even opening, or those that just open but don't click. That affects my deliverability. So now I've trimmed it down, as I said, by 80% of what I usually send out to only those that click. So if you're on my email list and you ain't clicking, my email server will stop sending you emails. So just putting that out there as well. All right, we'll leave that as, and hopefully we'll see you. So if you want, just go visit quantlabs.net/shop, okay, and pick either one of these analytics services to get access to this. And I will have to, even if you sign up, I have to manually add you to this hidden, what they call a hidden room, right here. This guy right here to my analytics room to get access to this. We shall talk to you later, and thanks for watching. Have a good day.